be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Face or Hill Pro Wrestling Talk, new show here on Gonzo Sports Room. I'm Chris Gonzalez, along with Tony Gonzalez, Marcus Fine, Austin Gonzalez, Big Glenn, and the one and only Justin Danger. I think it says Ravy's sidekick down there. It's a little hard for me to read from over here.
Yeah, he's always around. I got to be his sidekick.
But how's it going, guys?
Doing great.
All right.
So I made the logo, the overlay, all that. Thought I had everything ready. I forgot to make a damn intro. So we used the intro for the other show for tonight. Yeah. And I'll get us an intro made for this show.
Absolutely devastating.
That's Marcus' favorite thing. Okay, guys, we're going to get started. We're going to start the show off with my top 5 pro wrestlers for March. At number 5, I've got Stephanie Vaquer, who became double champion in NXT, North American champion, and the NXT women's champion. She did relinquish one of those belts, but she's had a heck of a month, so she was my number 5. Number 4, I've got a combination here. I got Gunther and Jey Uso. I think they've been doing a pretty good job. I know some people have been critical. I thought it's really picked up in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I thought Uso's promo this past Monday was great, and Gunther's been pretty solid the whole time. His facial expressions was really cool this week. My number 3 is Toni Storm from AEW. I think she's the best thing they have over there right now. A couple other people's doing pretty good, but Storm is doing an outstanding job. My number 2 is Cody Rhodes, John Cena. I think the what's going on there is pretty good. Could be a little bit better if Cena was there all the time, but I still think they're doing a pretty good job, and I'm expecting a big main event out of them coming up at WrestleMania. And my number 1 was it's actually what I'm the most interested in for WrestleMania is Punk, Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Got to include Paul Heyman in that. So Heyman's just doing an outstanding job, help building on that. But that's my top 5. And next, I've got Marcus up with a little segment that he's going to be doing. And Marcus, now what'd you name that?
I'm calling it Find It and Watch It. Every week I will give you 1, 2, 3, depending on how long they are, past wrestling content, whether it's like matches, promos, interviews, and most of this stuff will be on YouTube, and I'll do like Tony does. I'll tell you what they call it and the time on it, and then you pretty much can locate them. But this week, actually, it's just basically humor. The wrestling's greatest promo is what it's called. It's about 57 seconds. There's actually 2 of them. If you hear us do commentary here as of late, you hear them, give them one of these, give them one of those, so you need to watch that promo, and then you'll know exactly what we're going. It was taped in the Dick the Bruiser era because he actually references Bruiser. Bobo Brazil Jr.'s in it. Over to the side is Calypso Jim. That tells you how long ago it was. But it's just very funny. And then if you keep going, the other one's called Best Wrestling Promo Ever. It's 1:03. It was put on there 17 years ago, and basically a guy had no idea how to do an interview because he said, "Okay, you got taken out in the last match. Tell us, yep, I'm going to get down there and take care." And like it's just goofy as hell. So that's what I have. These will get better. I know this was a last minute put together, but I will come up with matches and stuff. There's all kinds of stuff out there. So
yeah, I seen that thing I sent you, which you I know you've seen before, where Ivan Koloff
oh yes
pinned Bruno and almost started a riot. And then also seen the one where Ox Baker gives Erland a heart punch, and they did start a riot. I mean, that place went crazy. But that's just some stuff. Okay, well, we're gonna get
that stuff we will do. I will probably do a lot of Bruiser era stuff until I just run out of Bruiser era stuff. But I'll hit other stuff too. There's some good MSG matches, as Mr. Danger will let you know. There's some good stuff from the 70s and 80s, and Bruno and stuff. Lots of classics. So
Okay, guys, we'll get started with AEW Dynasty. I know I watched it. I know Austin watched it. Austin, I want to get your take on the show. What did you think of AEW Dynasty?
So there was a couple matches I missed, like one or two. But overall, it was easily the worst pay-per-view I've seen in a long time. I'm not a big AEW fan, don't get me wrong, but the pay-per-views I've watched have actually been pretty solid. This one though, I gave it a C overall. It was not a good pay-per-view. I thought the ending was really bad too. It was a bad way to end the pay-per-view. Really, there was really only maybe 2 or 3 pay-per-view worthy matches in my opinion. All the other matches shouldn't have been a pay-per-view. That's just my opinion.
I got a question for you, Austin. Was that Heroes of Wrestling bad?
What did you say?
Was that Heroes of Wrestling bad?
It wasn't that bad. I don't even know if Austin knows what that is.
I bet he don't even know what that is.
He probably don't know what that is. But
That,
it wasn't that
that'll be
bad.
a future segment. That might be my next segment.
Okay.
How big you want to talk about?
Oh man, that
probably
was
do a 3-hour show on that one.
Yeah.
If it was really bad, then yeah.
it was really bad.
Yes.
I mean, I have my ratings for all the matches too. If you want to go through them, but if not, that's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, the first match was Osprey versus that Kevin Knight. This is the first time I've seen that Kevin Knight. He really impressed me. I think he has a lot of potential, depending on it, how they book him and stuff. But I thought he was really good. Overall, the match was pretty solid. You know, kind of your normal Osprey stuff. Nothing over the top. Couple of stuff I didn't like, but that's just I don't like the running Spanish flies on the ground. I like them when they're in the air more, but that's just my opinion. Just little spots like that. But overall, I thought it was solid. I gave it a B plus, a B. I give it a B. And then the Hurt Syndicate versus the Learning Tree. Another just throwaway match. Honestly, I can't remember much from it. I don't know how you make Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin boring, but they did. So it was a C minus. I didn't see Mercedes versus Julia, but I know you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I seen it, and they're really high on Julia Hart. I've never seen it. I know you agree with me. You haven't seen it either. She's got a character, but in the ring,
I didn't see the match, but
she's not ready.
I didn't see the match, but what I wrote was didn't see the match, but Julia sucks. So I'm sure it was bad.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they're
That's
pushing
just an honest
somebody.
opinion.
They're pushing somebody like Julia Hart when you got somebody like Billy Starks, a young person on the roster who's 10 times better than her, has already had 500 matches, so she's got the experience. It don't make a lot of sense to me. That's just and I'm not. I mean, I hate to be that way, but and I'm usually not that negative. I just don't think Julia Hart's ready to be in the big time. She should be on Ring of Honor getting experience. That's just my opinion.
But no, we have Ember Moon on Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Rated FTR versus the Death Rider. A lot of good talent in that match, but it was just kind of soulless. It just felt like they were just out there doing moves. I didn't, the storyline just wasn't really there for me. The ending was really about the only thing that was interesting. FTR turning on Edge and maybe setting up a Edge and Christian reunion. So
has Edge had anybody not turn on him?
I don't think so. I think everybody
I don't think
turns
so
on
either.
Edge.
he gets turned on or he turns on them.
Kind of like Dusty Rhodes. I think everybody turned on Dusty Rhodes at one point, except maybe Magnum TA. And that probably would have happened if Magnum wouldn't have got hurt. Yeah, if Magnum wouldn't have got hurt, that would have probably happened too.
Even LOD turned on Dusty, or vice versa. So yeah.
The Tony Storm versus that Megan Bayne match. I thought it was okay. I gave it a B minus. I thought Tony was fine. This is the first time seeing that Megan Bayne. I thought she looked a little green and a little kind of stiff moving and just kind of doing the power moves, basic stuff. But she did all right, and they had kind of like a Rocky storyline going on, so it was entertaining a little bit. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, she came out dressed like Rocky, the Rocky trunks from the first movie and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. I really like the match was decent, but the entertainment value of Tony Storm and the stuff she was doing, I really enjoyed that match.
The Kyle Fletcher and Briscoe, I didn't see all of it because this is around the time I was getting a little. I think I was getting out of it a little bit, so that's kind of on me. But what I've seen of it, I thought it was good. I mean, I think Briscoe, he's different, but he's entertaining, and I think Fletcher could be very, very big in the wrestling business. You know, depending on how they book him and stuff. I think he's got it. I just, we'll just see where they go from there.
I thought it was good, and Briscoe's over. I mean, he's really over, and works the crowd, and the crowd loves him. And like you said, it was a pretty solid match.
Now the next match, Bandito versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has no reason being on pay-per-view matches in 2025. It was just really bad. It was nothing really good about it. And then the way they did the ending and everything was really confusing. And
Marcus, you would have had a field day with this match. The ending of the match is that they cheated and Jericho got a bat and the referee didn't see it, hits Bandito and pins him. Another referee comes down, starts talking to Bandito's sister and mom. They tell her, the other ref, who had nothing to do really with the match, where the bat's at. So they come into ringside, show them where the bat's at. She pulls the bat out before the stairs was. They restart the match, and Jericho gets pinned. Neither referee seen the bat be used, and they're going by two fans.
Yeah, they weren't even out there on the ringside with them. They were in the audience.
Yeah, they was in the audience.
It was a little,
How many matches would change if that was what happened?
Yeah.
all
That
of
kind
them.
of just ruined the whole way it works. I mean,
He didn't seem. That was the first time I've seen that guy wrestle. He didn't seem that bad. Like he seemed pretty solid. It's just that match was just not good. I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming Chris Jericho mostly in the booking of the match, but he did seem pretty solid.
Bandito is really strong, and he can wrestle a really fast-paced match. So I think he struggled a little bit. Them two struggled some.
The next match I missed. I was out getting 7 Brew, I believe. It was Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia. So that's all you.
the Seven Brew match.
It's just weird. I mean, Garcia won the belt. That was his first title defense on TV. He loses. I don't know. I think they made Garcia champion so he would sign a contract, and then they did nothing with him. And Adam Cole is trying to get back up to the level where he was, but he's struggling too. It wasn't a bad match, but it was like you said, it was a TV match. It wasn't a pay-per-view match.
And then the next match, honestly, this may be the only matches I look at like truly pay-per-view worthy. Best match of the night by far. One of the best matches I've seen in AW in a minute was the triple threat with Omega, Ricochet, and Speedball. They were all on point. It was a little long, but I didn't feel it in the match. Like I felt it because I was like, "Wow, this seems," but it wasn't because it was getting like stretched too far or anything. It was entertaining from start to finish, and all three of them killed it. As much as Ricochet's kind of been iffy for me since he left WWE, but they all were on point. I give it an A.
Yeah, I think everybody here watched that. We'll go over that in a minute. I think what was next, Austin, the main event?
Main event. I gave it a D. It was terrible. It was terrible. It started out slow, them trying to do grappling, acting like Moxley's this grappling technical wrestler genius, which he's not. They even had Swerve get on his back and try to get him to come in the guard and stuff. It was ridiculous, and it just never got to that point where I was entertained. And then the ending made no sense for nobody. It was terrible. Terrible way to end a pay-per-view.
The fans hated it. I mean, they did. They didn't. Nobody wants Moxley to be the champion except for Tony Khan, I believe. It was a. I usually don't give a pay-per-view below a C+, but I kind of agree with you. I think I gave it a C, and it probably deserves lower. It wasn't real good. And I watched the whole damn thing. I even watched the pre-show. I watched from 6:30 to 12:30. That some bitch didn't end until 12:30.
It was in Jeffersonville?
No. Well, okay, now I see what you're saying. No. Now I get what you're getting. Yeah, it was kind of it was in Jeffersonville, and it was produced by Walter Buckley.
Oh
So,
gosh.
but okay, guys.
When was that? Was that Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday on a Sunday. It was not a Saturday on a Sunday.
I thought that was
Yeah.
Sunday night. 'Cause, yeah, you were watching that forever.
Yeah, it felt like forever.
I didn't even watch the pre-show, and it felt like forever to me. So
I did see one move on there I thought was cool. I forget who done it now, but he done that brain buster. He done a brain buster. It looked like he was going to do a superplex,
Oh,
but,
it's Fletcher.
yeah, but instead of doing the superplex, he done a brain buster and
On
dropped
the
the
top
dude
rope.
on the top head on that top turnbuckle. I hadn't seen that before. That was cool.
Yes,
But
Fletcher's
I, didn't,
really good.
Yeah, Fletcher did that to Briscoe.
I didn't watch. Yeah, yep. I watched quite a bit of that match, and that's about all I watched of it. But that was a cool move. I hadn't seen that before. But yeah, brain bustered him right into the top turnbuckle.
Well, guys, the match that we had highlighted for you guys to watch was Kenny Omega versus Speedball Mike Bailey versus Ricochet. Austin's already given his thoughts on it. Justin, what did you get to see that match?
Yeah, I watched it.
What were your takes on it? What'd you like and what you didn't like?
It was a good, fast-paced match. Like the majority of the match was fast. It had a couple of comedy spots, but Ricochet seems like he's an indie heel and not a heel, because he'll do something and you'll feel that he's a heel, but then the next time he does something, he tries to be that funny haha indie heel, and it just doesn't work for me. But they had a few good moves, like the DVD on the railing was really good on top of Kenny Omega, I believe.
Yep.
Ricochet done at the Speedball. That was good. I liked all the double pins they was doing, the double crucifix and the double backslides. I like those pins in 3 ways.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I agree with you.
I forgot to mention the Karate Kid thing. That was so dumb and stupid, but I loved it. I loved it.
Well, he ran
was
right
great.
into it. That's what was stupid. He ran right into
But
it.
that's what happened in the movie.
That's the way it is in the movie.
Yeah.
If you really watch the movie, he runs right into it, and they play on that in the series about
Hey.
how.
Don't spoil nothing. Maybe nobody's watching.
And I think leading up to that was when I said that Bailey's knees are gone, because I think he missed the moonsault double knees on the apron.
Yeah.
I thought for sure his knees was gone there. The finish was really good, and I give the match like a 3.5 star, if that. Like, I'm not a big AEW guy, so I don't care for all the flips and all that stuff, but overall it was a good match.
Marcus, I want to get your take on this. See what you think of this.
All right. I didn't know they allowed fan cams anymore, for one. When did they start doing that again, or allow that? Because the feed you sent me was some guy taping it off his phone, I'm guessing.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, there's no
That's what
commentary.
I found.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no commentary in that. You see the commentary guys down there, but this is some guy filming it with his phone.
I didn't realize that.
Or I'm assuming back in the old days, the fan cams used to be little handheld camcorders, but yeah, and then you have to listen to his commentary, and some of that shit's just stupid because he's just making stupid statements. But
He was a Ricochet fan, wasn't he?
well, yeah, we don't boo.
Yeah, I watched the same one.
Yeah. I like how they double smacked Ricochet in the head. That was funny, where he just kind of ran up to him. They just kind of both just chopped his head. That was humorous. I like the transition between opponents. Those guys' timing was spot on. You can't deny that.
Yep.
And the way they went from one opponent right to the other, and the other opponent was ready for when it was his time to take over whatever was going on. I like Justin said, the combo of the double pins, where they just kind of all took their turn at trying to double pin, and then they all did the double super kick. And then when one person, it seemed like they were going through a skid. It was a skid. You could read the skid.
Yeah.
Because one would try to attack the guy on the outside and jump over the top rope. Then they all got their shot of going over that top rope. it was a big spot fest. I mean, the match was okay. If I was commentating it, I'd probably have a good time doing it. But I mean, it was all right.
That's what AEW is. I've told people it's independence on steroids. It's independence with a bunch of money behind it. I'm not putting down independent wrestling. I'm really not, because it depends. I mean, one thing about I like going to some shows. Most independent shows have a little bit of everything. You get some of the high spots, you get some old school stuff like that. They're trying to do just for their fan base. They try to do mostly high spots. It's very little traditional.
Yeah.
Wrestling. I guess I'm saying that right. It's not traditional, in my opinion.
Well, what's not traditional is the tag team wrestling. That's for freaking sure. I haven't watched a lot of new wrestling lately, but like here in the last week I have, and the tag teams don't know the 5 count rule after the tag. They're in there for 45 seconds to a minute and a half.
Oh, AEW, the rules are out. They make the referees look like idiots. That's on the norm.
Because in ECW, the old ECW, the referees, all their point was to be there and count the pin.
Yeah.
But it was still a lot better than what AEW is putting out.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys were all over the damn arena and everything, but there was just something different about it.
I thought it was the strongest match on the show by far.
Well, according to Austin, it was.
It was.
Not
It
even
was-
close. I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm not saying it was a 5-star match, but it was entertaining from start to finish, and all 3 of them were on point with it, and it was entertaining. So, in all the other matches, it was hard to stay in them.
Well, I forget what's that called. Cage match. Out of 10, they give that like a 9.75 rating. Cage match did.
I'd give it a 4 at most.
Like,
Even
Yeah, man.
They give it almost a 10.
That's dumb, man. That's jackassery right there, buddy.
10 out of 10 or 10 out of 100?
They give it 9.75, I think, out of 10.
Well, I didn't even watch it, but if Austin says it, I believe it. I mean, he knows what he's watching.
More like a 3.5.
Well, I'm talking about just that match, not the paper.
Oh, the match. Okay, I thought you meant
Well,
overall.
I wouldn't have given it that much. I'd maybe give it a 6.
Yeah.
Chris, did you get to see the match?
Yeah.
What was your take on it?
Pretty much about like everybody else. It was a good match, but it's just not my style of match. It was just too many spots. I do agree with what Marcus said. I didn't think about it like that, but it would be a match like if we were doing commentary. It'd been fun to commentate, but some of those matches aren't always my favorite matches to watch. Either. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good point Marcus made there, because that would have been fun to commentate, but for me, just like sit and watch, it wasn't one of the matches that would grab a hold of me, just because I'm not big on just all the spot fest.
Yeah, I agree.
And the other thing that
before
drives
we
me
go on,
crazy
who's
about
the-
AEW, and I say it every time I walk through and he's watching it, they don't sell shit.
No.
I saw a dude get hit with 20 right forearms and ate all of it. It acted like nothing happened. It's just, I don't know. To me, that's one of the biggest parts of pro wrestling, and they don't do any selling at all.
No, Moxley won't sell anything. Matter of fact, Moxley wrestled Shibata last night on TV.
Yeah,
him with
I've seen a little clip of it.
hit him with
I
a
think I've
package.
seen that clip 1,000 times. I thought they've already wrestled each other. I've seen that exact moment happen.
He hit him with a package pile driver. Shibata stood straight up and kicked Moxley in the face. No, I mean,
then they just
completely no sell a package pile driver.
And they'll just stand in the middle ring, just chopping each other back and forth, little baby slaps. I don't know.
He hates Moxley.
Him and the one guy, I don't even want to say his name because he may appear here soon. He hasn't been. He's been hurt. I think I can't remember. His name.
Eddie Kingston.
Oh God, that's what the worst wrestler I've ever seen on a big promotion. Absolutely terrible.
Kingston. And the
He's
fans
like
love
the
him.
average guy, you know.
I don't get. They say he's good promo. I don't think he's good on the mic at all, and he's
Well, I'm not-
terrible in the ring.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to be a big Moxley fan, especially when
He
with
he was
Dean
better.
Ambrose there. I was a big fan, but now over the last couple of years, it's got to, like you guys said, he don't sell nothing. He always bleeds. It's basically, if you've watched one of his matches, you've seen them all.
Yeah, and his promos are the same. Promos are the same, and honestly don't make
The
sense.
problem is he's doing what he wants to do and not what he should do, like what it was in WWE.
Yep.
WWE
Well,
had him on a line AEW lets him do whatever, and that's why his matches are all nails in the back and all that crap.
And you know what? I can even forgive that if you want your match to be a certain way, but then not to even like he shouldn't have been the champion going this paper. He should have lost the belt the last pay-per-view.
Well,
Like they had Christian cash in that thing he had for like a year just for him to lose it and have Moxley retain. If you're gonna have Christian lose it, have Edge win the belt that way. That builds Moxley. He didn't get beat. He lost. You know, it would have made Moxley look good, and he still lose the belt. It made no sense. Neither to him winning this one either.
yeah, the Death Rider story's been bad, and I've heard Moxley's been in charge of the creative, so I don't know. People
Chickens with Moxley horrible.
People are trying to say that they're trying to be like what the Bloodline was, and with all the interference, people are saying it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. The difference is with the Bloodline story. Look how many people got made out of that story. Look how many people got
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. They got the main event of WrestleMania. So did Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn won the titles, tag team matches. I think first ever tag team match to main event of WrestleMania. And there's been
The first.
Cody Rhodes got bigger being involved in that. I mean, he did. I mean, I don't think people can argue that. So that story helped a lot of people. Well, I don't think this story's helped anybody except for Jon Moxley.
Well, the biggest difference is there's actually a story. There's no story with what they're doing with them. They're just doing the same stuff, and nothing's getting built up.
And nobody has seen the title. They keep it in a briefcase. Nobody's seen their world title since last October.
I don't understand that. Like, you want to show off your world's title on TV as much as you can, and they have it hidden. I still haven't seen it.
No.
I bet it was stolen. I bet they don't have it.
Even it was funny because even the commentary was trying to like Taz was saying, "Oh, I understand why he doesn't want them to see and all this." So I'm like, Taz, I don't even know if he ever had a belt. I don't, ECW man, I don't know.
Taz was a big champion in ECW, so
That
Taz
doesn't
knows
count.
the right way, but Taz knows that stuff's ridiculous. He knows, but he's
He
getting a
was saying
paycheck.
it.
He's getting a paycheck. Okay, guys. Hey, Glenn, did you have any thoughts on that?
I don't really care for AEW, so I don't have no thoughts.
Okay,
It
guys,
only
we're
made us
gonna
how
move on.
It was good, so
Tony made us watch it, so
Yep. Sorry, guys. Okay, guys. Next up, SmackDown. SmackDown. The first thing I give you guys for assignment was Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman. Last man standing challenge match. Winner gets to face LA Knight at WrestleMania. Marcus, what did you think?
I knew you'd pick me first. You know what Austin just said about saying the same thing over and over and over again?
Yep.
Well, here we go again. How many times do you need to be thrown off the stage into that table? It looks like they've been eating pizza on, busting those tables up. I thought it had a Rocky II finish because they counted all the way to 9.67, and then he stood up.
Yeah.
And of course, they took the timekeeper's area out again.
Yep.
It's a repeat of shit I've been seeing a lot of when it comes to those last man standing matches and all that. So,
yeah, WWE's last man standing matches are very formulated. I did like even though I know what you're saying about the tables, I thought it was a cool angle that they shot it from, because he's so tall. Strowman's so tall, and when he put him over in the suplex, I thought that was pretty cool. But I thought it was a decent match. What do you think about Fatu taking on LA Knight at WrestleMania?
no, I think LA Knight will lose, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have to agree
They're
with
not
that
even in
one.
the same class.
Yeah.
They're not even in the same class.
It might. Hey, I like LA Knight. That match might be a squash match.
Yeah,
I hope it is. It needs to
agree
be,
with
honestly.
I don't think it could be, but I don't think it will be. I don't think it'll be a long match, but I don't think it'll be a squash.
You think Fatu will take it?
I do. I think Fatu
Yeah,
will take
I
it.
do too.
Unless the only way you don't take it is if they're going to build something with Solo and Solo tries to help him and he
Doesn't
accidentally cost him, and then they build up a feud between Solo.
Let's get the referees from AEW, and then you don't have to worry about that.
That's true.
Yeah.
If
I
you dance
honestly,
behind the barricade, you're all good. So
I would have
Okay.
rather Solo versus Jacob Fatu at this WrestleMania than him versus LA Knight. There's nothing. I'm not getting anything from that match.
well, I'm not been an LA Knight fan. I don't get
Me
it.
neither.
Justin, what'd you think?
Basically, like Marcus said, it's basically a Braun Strowman match. It's the same thing over and over again. He did crush him when he went through the barricade and landed on him, but the stalling suplex through the tables, like you said, it looked good, but it's the same thing. But yeah, they had a couple of good 9 counts, but it was a decent match.
Yeah, it was a decent TV match, I thought. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't really have much to add. I mean, I think he hit it on the nail. It's a Braun Strowman match. It's good. Maybe, it's entertaining the first time you see it, but then he does the same thing with all his feuds. And I'm not really blaming him. That's the way they book him. I think he does what they ask him to do, but the same with how he did with Bronson Reed and Big Show in the past and Omos and all those when they do these big matches and it's all kind of always the same match and their first encounter is entertaining, but then they just keep it going. Like this is, I think, like their 4th match they've had together.
Yeah,
Third or 4th match in like the last month and a half or so, and it's just I didn't really care about it. And then
that's a feud that I want to see. You mentioned Bronson Reed. I want to see Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu go out.
I would love that feud. Now that would be a great feud. And then LA Knight versus Jacob. I think Jacob should win it. I'm not really interested. I think they should have done like a ladder match for that belt or something. Something. I don't think a singles match is really good. It's just not a singles match I want to see. Not on WrestleMania. Not a WrestleMania.
It should be like a main event of SmackDown next week.
Yeah, should be the SmackDown.
But that makes sense as to why it should be a squash match, though.
Yeah.
Just a quick match, change the title, be done with it.
Exactly.
Send LA Knight to AEW and we'd all be happy.
Marcus, Marcus, if you want to see a good last man standing match from WWE, go to Royal Rumble 2008, Umaga versus John Cena. Last standing match.
I've seen that. That's good. Yeah.
I didn't know if you've seen it because I figured you probably weren't watching that at that time.
Oh, I try to watch the bigger ones.
That one's a great last standing match.
Yeah.
Chris, what was your take on that?
Austin pretty much stole what I was going to say. I was going to say that the first thing I thought of watching it was the Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman feud.
It definitely had that vibe.
I mean, it was good. It was entertaining, but it's like everybody else has said. We've seen it almost like 1,000 times now. It seems like if you see one Braun Strowman match, you've seen almost all of them.
Okay, guys. Next up was the CM Punk reveals the favorite. We'll change it up. Chris, what did you think of that?
I thought it was awesome. It just put in my head more that Paul Heyman might be the best manager of all time. His facial expressions, the crying, just everything. I thought was great. I thought it was even spot on. They had Rollins come out there because Rollins over there gets the ropes laughing and saying "I told you so" and stuff. I thought was perfect. But yeah, I really enjoyed the segment.
That was amazing.
Justin, what do you think?
It made my thought of a Paul Heyman on a pole match even that much closer. But it was good. Like everything they're doing right now is really good.
Marcus?
I'm laughing still just thinking about it. I thought at the beginning of it was kind of scripted. It seemed like they were, yes, my tribal chief.
Yes.
Yes. But I'm thinking, oh, come on, this is good. But you're right, Paul Heyman, damn, he's good. Are you crying? Yeah, it was very well. It was very well done. I loved Seth Rollins' glasses and how they were filming the other two by showing the reflection off his glasses.
Yep.
For a lot of theirs, but yeah, it was very well done. Very well done.
I thought the 2 stars of that segment, honestly, was Heyman and Seth Rollins. Rollins over it just cracked me up. Him over there, he was down on his knees laughing. It was just awesome. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is by far the match that I'm looking forward to the most. Ever since it was announced, I don't know why there's some people that act like this match shouldn't be happening or it's not as big as it is. This is going to be one of the biggest matches of WrestleMania history, and I love it. I mean, I'm not the biggest Roman fan, but ever since he lost the belt and every time he's come back, I thought he's been doing really good. And them three together and Paul Heyman, it just works so good together. The chemistry with all three of them, the storyline between all three of them, Seth being right in the middle of all. I know some people were acting like Seth doesn't belong. I disagree.
I disagree.
I think he works perfect. I mean, he's right in the middle of it all. And yeah, I thought the promo was great from all of them. I mean, I'm hyped for that match. I'll watch WrestleMania just for that match. So
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. I liked it myself.
and it deserves to be the main event, even though some people are upset. But it deserves to be the main event. I do think the women should have got a main event, but sometimes it just happens that way. But I think that match definitely deserves to be a main event the most out of any match for me, even over Cody and John Cena. So,
Glenn, did you have any other takes on that?
Oh, absolutely. It was a great promo. You can tell that the three of them will be wrestling at WrestleMania based on their stint in the Rumble match. I was hooked when they're all three were out there, when they pretty much eliminated each other and everything. Yeah, what Austin said, it should be a WrestleMania main event. It's true. It definitely should be, and that's why it's where it's at.
It's going to be main event on night one.
Night one, yep.
That's been officially announced. Yeah, I think we went through everybody. Okay, CM Punk. No, excuse me, I'm going the wrong way here. From Raw, an intense Jey Uso vows to take Gunther's title at WrestleMania for his family. Okay, Glenn, did you see that segment?
I sure did. I love the expression from Jay on that. Only problem is where I have with that is with Jay winning the Rumble. I'm not sure if Jay's actually going to win the match at Mania. I think Gunther's going to win. I just don't feel like it's not Jay's time yet.
Okay, Chris, what do you think?
I really liked it. I thought Jey Uso was real good in it. I thought the timing was good. I liked how he talked about his family and everything. I think Uso's going to win at WrestleMania.
I do too.
But I thought the promo was real good. I thought it was actually one of the better promos I've seen Jay do.
Best one he's done, I think. My take, I really enjoyed the way Gunther personality was. He came out, when he first came out, cocky, basically laughing at Jey Uso. And then if you watched his facial expression as the segment went on, it changed. It's almost like he's thinking in his mind. You could think, what the hell did I do? I think I just woke up this guy. What the hell did I do? I think he was kind of thinking that, the way they made it play. I really enjoyed the segment. I thought it was very well done. Justin, what'd you think?
If Jey Uso could wrestle as good as he can bring himself down, he'd be champion like a couple of years ago. Because he really had me feeling like he has no chance. And then he tried to say, "Oh, I'm not afraid of you now." I don't care for Jey Uso. I'm actually waiting for him to lose at Mania and we see a darker side of Jey Uso. That's what I see.
Okay, I think Jay's going to win, but we'll see. I mean, that's one thing I like about the stories that they're telling right now. It's really kind of hard. I mean, I think that match could go either way. I think the same thing with the Roman stuff. Who's going to win that match? I have no idea. If I'm going to guess, I'll give a prediction. I'll say it's going to be Punk. But I
actually thought about that earlier today. Is this WrestleMania is actually one that damn near every match is something where whether this person wins or loses, they have something they can do. Like you can see it going one way or you can see it go the other way. So you don't know who's winning in any of the matches, really.
Yep. I agree with that.
You can see that in Cody. That one's hard to tell. That might be the hardest one of all to try to figure out.
Marcus, what did you think of that segment?
I loved it. I'm going to kind of combine a little bit of everybody's thoughts. I think if it wasn't for Gunther, that promo wouldn't have been as good as it was.
I agree.
Gunther lost his eye contact first. Gunther's the one that looked like he was starting to get worried. when Jay was. If it wasn't for Gunther's facial expressions, I don't think the promo that Jay was given would have been as good as it was.
I agree 100%.
Now I'm going to vote for Gunther winning WrestleMania. I'm seeing this as some are going for Jay, I don't see Jay as a champion, but I didn't see Kofi Kingston as a champion either, and they made him one, so it could happen, I suppose. But
That also
No Kofi
those two
Kingston
are
hate here.
outperforming. So
There's no Kofi Kingston hate here.
I think
I
Jay,
hate on Kofi. I just never seen him as a world champion.
I think Jay's going to win because of his popularity. How long he keeps the belt, it's going to be how he does. You know, Kofi kept the belt for 6 months and then got beat in 8 seconds. So
We talked about that with somebody today. Oh, I talked to Mr. Cash
but
today.
who knows? But I think he's going to get it. I mean, he's lost to him 3 or 4 times already. I think I don't know what night it's going to be on, but I think that's going to be an opening match. I think it's going to open the show.
It's going to open night 1.
I think it's going to open night 1, and he's going to win, and it's going to get that crowd going crazy. That's my prediction. Austin, what do you think of that segment?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I thought it was one of Jay's best promos, and I get what you're saying with Gunther made it better. I don't want to say that it was only good or whatever or anything like that because they both need to be doing that, dude. But I thought Jay was on point in that promo. I thought it was the best one he's done. And the whole Gunther looking intimidating and stuff. I've been saying this. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, it's not realistic for Gunther to get beat by Jay." No, it's not. But if you look at the past storylines with Gunther, he's been like this before. He got 2 overcoms against Sammy. It's a story. They keep it going. It makes sense for me because it's not something that they're just adding on with Jay. It's been there. He got 2 overconfident with Sammy. He got intimidated by Damian Priest and was out of it there and barely escaped. So it's a story that's been there, and I like how they've been doing it, and it's kind of been there the whole time. And I think Jay should win. If he doesn't, I think him winning the Rumble makes no sense.
I agree with that.
You know, how long he holds it after is fine. Do I think Jay deserves to be the champion? I think he deserves to get the belt once. He's been in the business for so long, and I think he's put his dues in. I think he was doing really good work. Maybe it wasn't the best matches, but I mean, there's been worse champions in my opinion. So
nobody's seen this coming. Nobody could have predicted that 3 years ago that Jey Uso would be over with the fans. I mean, Austin, you was there. I was there. Chris, I know Glenn was there. 70,000 people eating, for 10 minutes after the damn 10, 15 minutes after the damn show. Not very many people get that, So he's over with the crowd. I do agree. I don't think he's. If I was rating him out of a 10 for his performance in the ring, I'd give him a 7. I don't think he's a 9 or a 10. I think he's a 7. But you take the other stuff into consideration. There's people that's been a lot better wrestlers than him and ain't been able to draw a dime because they don't have it.
There's been worse wrestlers than him that's had the belt too. So
oh yeah.
Sound like my grand there, Tony.
Okay, guys. Our last thing is Seth Rollins confronts Paul Heyman and ends up brawling with CM Punk. And the segment ended when Seth Rollins could have curb stomped Paul, but didn't, and tells him now he owes him a favor. Marcus, I'll let you go first on this.
What do you want to know?
Well, what'd you think?
Well, don't we see that Heyman's going to be in 3 corners on WrestleMania? Is that not where we're going with this?
Up in a showcase above the ring.
A lot of people are predicting that Rollins is going to win that match and that Heyman is going to be with Rollins. I don't know for sure that's going to happen, but a lot of people think that's what's going to happen.
I loved how Paul lost his shit when he was being slapped.
Yeah.
You don't see Paul losing his shit like that. Did you also see that guy out on ringside? He had the red coat and that weird hair out there screaming like I don't know. They got over to that barricade. That guy's out there acting like a damn fool. And I don't know. He got himself on TV, I guess, but reminded me of some of the people at Comic-Con. But anyhow, but yeah, I see it being a Paul Heyman managing everybody.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Justin, what do you think?
Rollins got me with that interview. Like everything he said to Paul made sense. Like, I mean, it was just obvious. And the way that Paul reacted to all the facts about what Roman didn't do, what CM Punk didn't do, it was all really good stuff. Paul Heyman is Seth Rollins' best weapon right now. Like, and I could honestly see Heyman being with Rollins because, after Mania, I guarantee Punk and Roman's going to disappear for a while. And Heyman's going to be there, so why not? But Rollins can talk on the mic, and he don't really need that guy. So it's another one of those things that you don't know. It could go either way.
Austin, what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, Seth Rollins is one of my favorite wrestlers in the past. Honestly, he's already up there close to the top 10 already. I think he's going to go down as one of the best once he retires. Honestly, I think once he retires, you could say he's the best of all time, and I won't disagree with anybody that says that. I think he's just good at everything, great at everything. Yeah, I mean, it was great. He's using Paul Heyman to get, both of them, in their heads and everything, and I thought he was great. Oh, are you good?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. What happened?
Everything froze for a minute on my side.
Oh,
Chris?
were you finished?
Basically, there's not much more to say.
Chris?
No, I really enjoyed this promo as well. I agree with Justin. I thought Rollins was awesome in it. I like the way he was playing both sides with Heyman, got Heyman thinking. And to me, it just added another element because now you got 3 different ways that this match could go. And I mean,
What's everybody's going to
so you don't know what's going to happen.
What's Heyman going to do? That's the big question. What's Heyman going to do?
But I thought it was well done.
Glenn, what do you think?
I liked it. I loved the dynamic to where Seth Rollins is also in it deep in that way because, on SmackDown, he was kind of in the background just chilling and laughing his ass off. Then on Monday, he's right up front and center, having people question if whose side is Paul really on, at the end of the night.
Only thing I didn't like about it was when Punk got in the ring, you got to shoot a better double leg. You got to shoot a better double leg and take the guy down. He grabbed his legs and it didn't have enough leverage to take him down. He had to reload and it didn't take him down. You got to do a better double leg than that.
We know
why you've seen in the UFC.
Yeah, we see why he failed. Yeah, I really enjoyed the segment. I thought it was very well done. Out of the stuff that I asked you guys to watch, what did you like the best? Austin, what did you like the best of all of that stuff?
It's got to be the favorite reveal. It just gets me more and more into that. And of course, the Seth one was great too. But having all 4 of them out there for a majority of the time, and just seeing everybody's reactions, what all of them were saying, and just the dynamic of it, that segment was great.
Chris, what about you? What segment did you like the best?
I'd probably have to lean toward the cashing in the favor, but the other promo was right there with it for me. I really enjoyed both of them. So. But I'd probably put the favor just maybe a little bit in front.
What about you, Marcus?
I think I like Jay's promo the best.
They were all very close. Justin?
The stuff that you had us watch, I think the Rollins stuff was the best of that stuff. But I also want to throw in that the Bayley match with Valkyria, I think, from Monday Night Raw, that was actually a really good match.
It was outstanding.
That really surprised me. I've liked Bayley for a while, and Valkyria, when she first came in, I saw a little bit of her, and I thought she was really good. And then I saw that match, and I'm like, that was the best match that I've seen, of the stuff that we've watched.
Justin, I tell you, if you can find it, I assume it's still on Peacock. look up NXT UK, and that's Valkyria wrestled over there. She
Yeah.
was,
Okay.
in my opinion, she was better there than she is right now here.
Okay.
She's really, really good. So check her stuff out. I check out NXT UK. Anybody out there, I'm telling you, that was some great wrestling. NXT UK, very, very good. I think my favorite one, man, it's tough because I liked all of them, but I think I'm gonna go with the favor too. I think I'm gonna go with the CM Punk favor. Let's see here, Glenn.
Yes, my favorite thing of the week would have been the paver as well. I do want to touch on real quick of NXT on Tuesday. Julia turning on Stephanie Vaquer to throw herself in that fatal 4-way. A stand delivered.
Let me ask you something, Glenn, about that real quick. A lot of people said she turned heel. I didn't necessarily think that she turned heel yet.
Yeah, I mean, she attacked Stephanie, but yeah.
Well, she came in and helped her first.
Yeah.
And then she did attack her, but she wants her belt back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's officially a heel yet. Maybe she's going to be that, but I mean,
I can see it.
She basically sealed herself into the match.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't turn heel, didn't do nothing but made sure that she was a part of the match. Basically how Rhea Ripley got herself in her match.
Yes, it's this. I like that segment because it made Stephanie look vulnerable for a quick minute.
That's interesting.
I wish it was just a triple threat. I'm no hate on Jada Parker. I think she's good, great. I think she's good, and I think she is going to get there. But I really wish it would have just been Jordan Grace and them two, because I think that match could be one of the best matches in history for women. And I'm not saying it couldn't be with Jada, but Fatal 4-Ways can get a little bit more messy, and I don't know if she's ready for that. Just for
Jada should have been in the North American ladder match.
I think that makes sense, more sense. I mean, just Jordan Grace, Stephanie, and that Julia together. I mean, that sounds fantastic. So,
Ron Mallet says he thinks Paul is going to walk out of the match.
I've seen that. I think that's possible. I think it's possible. I mean, I think that would make a good storyline. It's just too much that he walks away. They both get out of their heads. Maybe Seth takes it that way.
Okay, one other thing I want to touch on just real quick, and we'll get out of here. A lot of people have been giving the WWE a hard time about the build for this WrestleMania, and me and Austin's talked about it. It's going to be hard to build last year's build. They had such hoopla. It was WWE WrestleMania XL. It was WrestleMania 40. It was just so many things all aligned. Everything happened with The Rock. They had that great big tag team match. But I'm telling you guys, and I'm asking you guys to do this for next week, people it's going to be on. Look at last year's card. Go back and look at that card. Now, I know what the main events were and how great they were, but go back and look at that card. And there were some other good matches too. But then you go back and then look at this card. I'm telling you, match-wise, I think this WrestleMania is on paper a better WrestleMania. On paper. Now we'll see how it plays out. But as far as match-wise, you look at these matches from this year and from last year. I think this has got the makings to be a better WrestleMania. Now, whether it will be or not, no.
I think that's what they're using to build WrestleMania is the actual matches this year instead of the festivities and all that, like how it has been. I think this year they're more focused on the story-driven matches, which is basically all the matches that are happening.
And the other thing is on that is if you look at WrestleMania 39, look how many stories came out of 39 for the next year. And even some of them impacted 40. I think 41 is going to be a lot like that. There's going to be a lot of stories come out of 41. I think there's going to be a lot of stories that's going to carry over. And so I think it's almost like this WrestleMania is kind of like 39. It's almost like a building block. Then where last year was the ending of the story. Cody's the ending of the story was the big thing for last year. I don't know if we're going to have an ending of a story. I think we may have Cena win the belt, and then that's just going to start the story, with him and Cody or whoever. So I think it's very different. So I think people just like to criticize, first of all. Period.
They probably saw the ticket prices and decided, oh yeah, this WrestleMania gonna suck. Because that's some of it too.
Well, ticket prices are high, and a lot of people bitching about that. I understand, but when they're still selling over 50,000 seats for both nights, how you gonna argue with that?
Yeah, you know I'd pay it.
I wish they was cheaper, believe me, because I want to go to Mania someday. So we'll see. I hope they
2027, baby.
That's what I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be 2027 also.
Oh, yeah, I'll be before.
Saving right now.
Well, guys, I think we had a pretty good first show. Anybody got any thing they want to touch on before we get out of here?
Anybody watch Dark Side of the Ring this week?
Was that the Vader one?
Vader.
I haven't yet,
It's
but I
very
will.
good.
When
It's
I get
very
off
good.
here, I'm going to try to find
I
it.
tried looking for it yesterday and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, Vader's
I'm
good.
gonna go look it up, Marcus.
Did you watch last week's with Ludwig Vorga? That was you had to read the whole damn thing. I
I did watch that.
because it's like, damn. Normally, I like to just listen and then I'll look up, but the hell, you had to read that one just to keep track of what was going on with that. But next week's Tony Atlas said I'll be pretty good.
That should be good.
A lot of feet.
Yep. That's my Tony Atlas thought.
We appreciate everybody watching, guys, and tune in next week. It's going to be our WrestleMania show, and if you guys want to ask any questions or have thoughts, hey, comment. And which we had quite a few people, but hey, we appreciate the people watching, and hope everybody has a good night.
Most definitely.
All right, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, like, follow Facebook, Twitch, X, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. And we'll see you guys next Thursday evening.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
Here, this is Joey Owens show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.